The forest breathes. It's alive, it's ancient, and it's always watching. In the deepest parts of Ireland, a young family arrives seeking peace from the city's chaos. Adam, Claire, and their newborn son, Finn, have found what they think is a perfect escape. But this place was never meant to be peaceful. Their new home is an old, lonely house wrapped in moss and silence. As they step inside, the wooden frame creaks, as if sighing after years of solitude. Claire feels a shiver run down her spine, a sense of unease she can't quite shake. But Adam, ever the optimist, just smiles. "This will be home," he says, his voice full of hope. Behind them, unseen, the forest sways as if leaning in to listen to their conversation. That evening, a knock echoes through the house. An old man from the village stands at their door, his eyes tired and his hands trembling. He has a warning for them. "Stay out of the woods at night," he pleads. "The Hallow. They don't take kindly to strangers." Adam just laughs it off, dismissing it as local folklore, nothing more than old Irish fairy tales. But the old man's face remains grim. "The forest remembers," he whispers ominously. "And you must not take what belongs to it." The next morning, Adam, a tree surgeon, heads into the woods to begin his survey. The air is damp, the ground soft beneath his boots. Strange fungi bloom on fallen logs, casting a faint, eerie glow in the dim light. He notices crows watching him from the high branches, their black eyes following his every move. Then he finds it, the carcass of a deer, hopelessly tangled in thick black vines. Its body is covered in a bizarre, pulsing fungus, a growth that seems to be alive, spreading and moving. Intrigued, he takes a sample, a small, simple act that will unleash a nightmare beyond his imagination. That night, a soft, rhythmic sound breaks the silence. Tap, tap, tap. It's coming from the window. Claire pulls back the curtain, but sees nothing but the dark, imposing shapes of the trees. Adam, however, notices something is wrong. The sample jar he brought back from the woods. It's gone. And from the deep, dark heart of the forest, they hear something else. The slow, heavy sound of something breathing. The following day, their dog begins to bark uncontrollably at the edge of the woods, refusing to go any further. Adam investigates and finds something that makes his blood run cold. Deep, sharp claw marks gouged into the side of their house. It feels as if the forest itself is closing in, the air growing heavier, thicker, and the whispers are everywhere, carried on the wind, seeming to come from the trees themselves. As midnight strikes, the power suddenly cuts out, plunging the house into absolute darkness and silence. But the silence doesn't last. A floorboard creaks in the hallway. A shadow flits past the baby's room. Claire clutches Finn, her heart pounding in her chest. Adam grabs a flashlight, its beam cutting nervously through the black. He shines it towards the window and freezes. A pair of eyes are staring back at them, black, hollow, and filled with an ancient hunger. Suddenly, the night erupts into chaos. Windows shatter, doors slam open. And then, they come crawling in. Pale, twisted figures, their bodies a horrifying fusion of bark and fungus. They move with an unnatural speed, their long, thin limbs reaching for the crib. Claire's scream tears through the air. Adam fights back, swinging the flashlight like a club. He strikes one and its skin cracks open. Not with blood, but with splintering wood and tangled roots. They make a desperate dash for the car, but the engine sputters and dies. Branches like skeletal fingers scrape against the windshield. The forest is alive, and it's pulling them back into its suffocating embrace. Adam feels a searing pain in his arm. The cut he got from a thorny branch in the woods is now turning black. Dark veins crawl like vines beneath his skin. He tries to hide it from Claire, but when he looks in the mirror, his reflection twists and distorts. His eyes flicker with something inhuman. He's changing, becoming one of them. The Hallow have marked him as their own. The infection has taken root. Knowing the house is no longer a sanctuary, Claire grabs the baby and runs, plunging into the misty woods. But the forest is a living maze. The trees shift around her, blocking her path, herding her deeper into the darkness. Behind her, a new horror emerges. Adam follows, but it's not really Adam anymore. His voice is a hollow echo. "Claire," he calls out, "give them the baby." She stumbles into a clearing, a place that feels ancient and wrong. Giant roots twist from the ground, and the air is thick with the glow of the pulsing fungus. Then in the darkness, eyes begin to open, dozens of them blinking from the shadows. The Hallow emerge, creatures of wood and decay, their faces a grotesque blend of human features and gnarled roots. They surround her, their single-minded focus on the child in her arms. One reaches out. In a moment of pure desperation, Claire remembers the old man's folklore and throws a handful of iron filings. The creatures hiss and recoil, their skin burning and smoking where the iron touches them. Adam arrives, his body contorted in agony. The forest's curse has almost completely consumed him, but for one fleeting moment, the man she loves flickers back to life in his eyes. A flash of humanity. "Run!" he chokes out, and then the forest takes him completely. His body dissolves, twisting into roots and vines, becoming one with the ancient cursed earth forever. At dawn, Claire finally reaches the river. The first rays of sunlight cut through the mist, and the forest seems to grow still. With tears streaming down her face, she places baby Finn in a small, abandoned boat and pushes it out into the current. As she watches it drift away to safety, the whispers from the woods begin again. Not with anger this time, but with a deep, mournful sound. The Hallow have claimed another soul for their collection. The villagers in that small Irish town still tell the story. The story of the man who challenged the forest, and the woman who escaped with her child through the darkest of nights. They say if you walk deep enough into those woods on a quiet evening, you can still hear the cries. And sometimes, you'll see the trees move, even when there's no wind to stir them. Because in the heart of the Hallow, nothing ever truly dies. It simply changes. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of darkness, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you in the shadows.